Today, we're going to learn how to use a power miter saw. Before we begin, make sure you've got hearing protection on, a dust mask, and safety glasses. Ensure any long hair is tied back and you don't have loose clothing or hanging jewelry that could get caught in the blade. The first step you'll take in cutting your wood with a miter saw is to measure and mark. For our example, we'll make a cut at 8 inches. I like to take my speed square and draw a straight line where my mark was made to ensure I don't veer from my measurement. Take your board to the saw and press your wood flat against the fence. With your fingers away from the trigger, slightly lift the guard and lower the blade to your mark and adjust until the blade sits just to the outside of your mark. Think of one side of your board as the keep side and one side as the waste side. You want to cut to the waste side. If your saw has a laser, line up the laser line with your mark. If the laser is adjusted correctly, it has accounted for the kerf and will cut to the waste side of the line. If your saw has hold-down clamps, you can tighten one onto the wood to hold the piece even more firmly. Once the blade is up to speed, slowly lower the blade into the wood until the cut is complete. Release the trigger and allow the blade to stop while still held down on the wood. Once the blade is motionless, lift the saw carriage from the wood. Here's a special tip. To cut a board that is beyond the diameter of your blade, make your first cut, then flip the board over and line up the blade with your first cut. Now make a second cut, meeting the first cut. Another tip, to support longer wood pieces, if your miter saw has wings, extend them. Otherwise, place 2x4s under the wood to be cut. Or I've even found that a small can of paint is just the right height for me. To make repeat cuts, you could just measure each piece individually and make your cuts as before, or you can employ some tips and tricks to make the process go faster. After you've made your first cut, set that piece on top of your next one to be cut. Line up the ends perfectly flush and lower the stationary blade exactly against the end cut of your first piece, holding the new piece firmly in place, and make your cut as before, making a matching cut. Repeat for the rest of your cuts using that first pattern piece as your template each time. Miter cuts are where the miter saw truly shines. To make a miter cut, first set your saw to the desired angle. I'm going to make a 45-degree cut. Now move your saw table to 45 degrees. Often it will make a clicking lock sound. Tighten the angle knob. Now place your wood against the fence and hold it firmly. You'll cut much as before, but take care to hold the wood on the side away from the blade's angle. Lower the blade into the wood until the cut is complete and let it come to a stop before raising the blade. I hope this video has been helpful to you as you begin to use your miter saw. Visit familyhandyman.com for more ideas.